Hello, it's Jen Bengal here from Out of This World Literacy. Today I wanted to quickly go over the 3 tiers of instruction for literacy that are common across many grade levels in schools. These tiers are a great way to understand exactly how instruction can be differentiated to meet the needs of all literacy learners. While these 3 tiers are widely known and practiced in schools, the actual content, lessons, and teaching strategies inside each tier can vary greatly. There are lots of factors for these variances, including student needs, schedules, and types of curricula that might be available for teachers in schools. Let's dive into these 3 layers. Tier 1 is known as the start of literacy instruction. It is the time when educators teach the entire class a lesson, almost always based on a specific grade level standard that meets the needs to be covered and is appropriate for the average reader in that grade level. So Tier 1 instruction is the overarching blanket of instruction that every reader at that grade level should receive. Oftentimes, for the majority of students, this is the most instruction that they need before going off to practice the skill on their own. However, some students are reading below grade level or beyond their grade level, and they require additional support. This is when Tier 2 instruction comes into play. Students reading 1 or 2 grade levels below that their matching grade level need additional support on top of their Tier 1 instruction. In a Tier 2 level of instruction, students meet in groups of 3, 4 at the most to receive additional support on top of their whole group Tier 1 instruction. This instruction will target a specific skill that students have demonstrated a lack of understanding in. Typically, a research and evidence-based intervention program is used to provide instruction about 3 to 4 times a week here. Again, this can vary based on schedules and student needs. Tier 2 Tier 2 interventions usually last approximately 20 minutes and can be led by the classroom teacher, a specialized teacher, maybe a trained aide or tutor, or even a trained school volunteer. To be effective, the intervention program must be implemented with fidelity. Oftentimes, the teacher collects data in the form of running records and comprehension checks. On average, in a Tier 2 intervention, the teacher conducts a running record on each student either weekly or bi-weekly to track reading progress and progress monitor whether the student is making gains with this intervention. When a student does not show enough progress through data collection in a Tier 2 intervention, he or she may require a more intense form of instruction, known as a Tier 3 intervention. In Tier 3 interventions, the instruction is often more intense, it lasts longer, and it's more individualized, like on a one-on-one basis, and more data is often collected. This is often the case for students reading 2 or more years below their grade level. Running records are typically taken weekly, and more data for progress monitoring is collected. The type of instruction in Tier 3 is often the same research or evidence-based curriculum being used in Tier 2, but at a more intense one-on-one support level. If a student does not show progress after Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 levels of instruction, it may be time to explore more alternative options for instruction, such as testing for special education services. I hope this explanation of Tier 1, 2, and 3 reading helps you understand the layers of support for literacy learners. If you teach literacy and would like to try a free week of a research and evidence-based reading intervention program for all grade levels that is everything you need to plan, instruct, and progress